Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming this week. My name is Courtney. I'm the Director of Member Relations here at NISCO, and we are being joined this week by our friend Jeff at Intercon Chemical. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
I'm good, Courtney. How you doing today?
Excellent. This week we're going to be is part three, going over Intercon's laundry and wear wash options. So, Jeff, whenever you're ready, I can get the screen share running for you.
All right, let's get it going.
Excellent.
So today we're going to talk about both a service warewashing program and a service laundry program. You think about your businesses and you think about how you're going to compete long term and how you're going to set yourself apart from the competition. And one way to do that is to create a service warewashing and a service laundry program. A little bit about Intercon. We are privately held. We're based in St. Louis. We're a manufacturer. We are both an EPA and an FDA approved manufacturing facility. We operate out of a 300,000 plus square foot facility. We've got a wide range of packaging, and you'll learn more about that as we go through this presentation. And we've just upgraded our print on demand capabilities with a brand new label printer that we're in the process of installing as we speak. We've built a new label control room, which is the picture on the lower left. We've got close to actually over 500,000 gallons of product under roof that are in bulk storage tanks. And then we've got a wide range of computerized mixing and blending operations or options, excuse me. You think about Intercon as a supplier, we supply a wide range of products. Everything for food service operations, for laundry operations, and these are commercial type operations. In healthcare and infection control, floor care, so you start thinking about building care, maintenance programs, which could be for light, medium, or heavy duty manufacturing, could be for food processing because we do have CIP products, which is the critical process cleanings, mentions food processing facility maintenance. And we also do some contract packaging for some retail products. We've got a full range of green products. So when you look at the products you're stocking and selling today, we could probably replace 90+% of the items that you've got in your warehouse today. So when you think of Intercon, think of us as a full range supplier that could supply a lot of the products that you are buying today. We do some private labeling and private branding, separate discussion with separate minimums by items, but that's an option as well. So we've done 3 different series. The first one was on the commercial line, which is a group of food service products, and then Blue Planet Disinfectant, which is a hypochlorous acid-based product. The Clearly Better Hand Care line, we talked about dilutions, the Procon dilution system. And today we're going to talk about service programs for warewashing and laundry operations. So I'm going to start with food service operations. And when you think food service, think dish machine. So that could be in a restaurant, it could be in a hospital, could be in a nursing home, could be in a prison facility or a government building. Even there's even warewashing operations in commercial buildings on executive floors or in the break rooms. So there's a lot of different options where you'd find a dish machine. And what the dish machine becomes is your anchor in that account, meaning once you secure that account, they have to buy from you on a monthly basis because the products I'm going to talk to you about today, specifically the OptiPack products, that's a closed loop program that requires special mating caps, and we'll talk about that at the end. We've got a full range of products for the food service operations, the OptiPack program that we just talked about, which is a closed loop program that's going to give you your lowest use cost. It's going to save you on freight and warehousing. But we also offer the traditional pack sizes, the 4 1 gallons and the 5 gallons to a case. And you'll see the products are color coded. The lids are color coded on the 5 gallon buckets. And if you've got a dish machine lease program, you can use either the OptiPack products or the traditional 4 1 or 5 gallon products through a lease program. If the customer owns their own dish machine, you can use either of these systems. You just need a 2 liquid pump to be able to install these products and dose them into the dish machine. As far as equipment goes, whether it's dispensing equipment or it's dish machine leases, our regional sales managers can work with you to get you aligned with those companies so that you've got access to a wide range of lease dish machine programs. Same thing on dispensing equipment, dispensing options. We've got arrangements with all the major equipment suppliers, and our regional sales manager would sit down with you and go in depth on the equipment, the options, and also bring in a third party based on what your desire is for that second or that third meeting. We also offer a full range of encapsulated powders. So that's a powder with a screen on it that fits into a dispenser bowl, and you hook that dispenser bowl up to that dispensing equipment that I talked about previously. And then we also have a range of solids. So when you think about a program and you're setting this up, part of your thought process needs to be, the profitability of these different categories or different options. And I would tell you the OptiPack program will drive the highest gross margin, both in terms of percentage and dollars, followed by your traditional 4 1s or 5s, because those are both liquid options. They just require a 2 product pump for a detergent and a rinse. Whereas when you go to encapsulated powders or solids, your margin will go down. And the other thing that happens is your cost of equipment goes up by about $100 because you have to buy a bowl to put that product into and a water connection. So your cost of equipment goes up by over $100. Your time to install that account, think about the time when you're in that account physically doing that installation. It'll take you about an hour extra to put that dispenser bowl in and that water connection. And then you've also created the issue down the road where you may get more service calls because you've got a water connection. Whereas on the liquid products, it's a pretty simple install. It's 2 screws in the wall, mount the pump, wire it up, turn it on, and set it correctly. So you can do that install a lot quicker on a liquid installation, and the chance for service calls on a liquid installation go way down. So when I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking about this program, what I try to advise my distributors is think all the way through this. Think about the time, the expense, the potential service calls, because your time's not well spent on service calls. Your time is better spent selling and installing new customers.
And you were saying earlier before we started recording that the the solids and the powders are really more commonly seen in much colder environments so they can avoid the liquids freezing.
That's correct. That's correct. And some restaurant or food service operators will store their products outside.
Hmm.
Obviously, we don't recommend that
Right.
in either the northern tier of the U.S. or even the southern tier of the U.S.
Hmm.
because of the extreme heat. So, these products all should be kept at room temperature. They'll be
Hmm.
fine. But you need to be aware where the storage closet is within the customer site to
Hmm.
understand which way to guide them.
Exactly. Okay.
When you start thinking about a laundry program, and again, these service programs don't have to be, I'm going to do everything for everybody. You can step into them. So, like on the previous slide, and you don't need to go back, Courtney, but
Okay.
you've got low temp dish machines that could be a lease program, or you've just got customer owned machines. You could say, I'm going to target either one of those operations. Same holds true on a laundry program. You could say, hey, I'm only going to target hospitality type accounts to begin with. Uh, you know, hotels, motels, Hampton Inns, Holiday Inn Expresses, and focus on that market. Or country clubs is another good option. And just focus on that market with a laundry program. And then as you become more comfortable with a laundry program, maybe you say, now I'm going to step up into a healthcare operation, perhaps nursing homes or long-term care facilities, or even hospital laundry operations. But to start with, we've got the premium CL line. CL stands for closed loop. So just like we've got OptiPack in the food service operations, we've got the premium CL in the laundry program. Those are 2.5 gallon containers. They are closed loop. I'll come back and talk about that more at the end. They provide you the low used cost, and they're ADA compliant because the people working in the laundry operation can move those pails around. They're typically less than 25 pounds a pail. Some of them are 26, 27, but in general, they're in the mid 20s per pail, which is manageable for most people, and that's where it becomes ADA compliant. For larger operations, we've got 5 gallon pails where they may have a maintenance man that can come in and move those pails around for them, or a maintenance person, should I say, that's going to come in and move those pails around for them. We also offer those in, 15s, 55s, and totes, and that's what's pictured down in the lower left. So depending on the size of the laundry operation, you may need a larger pack size than a 2.5 gallon container. In general, you need to look to see how often they'd be changing that. Some customers will use a mix of 5s and 15s so that maybe the higher volume products like a detergent or a bleach, they don't want to change those very often, and they use 15-gallon drums. But maybe something like a softener or a builder where you don't use as much, those are in 5-gallon buckets. So we do see customers mix up pack sizes. And then some people say, nope, I want all fives or I want all 2.5s. But my point is, you've got a lot of flexibility in what you're offering. In addition to the laundry products that you would use just to get the linen clean, you're going to need access to some specialty products. And these are products that are targeted for stain treatment. So we've got one that's a solvent that is good for removing greases and oils. We've got one that's an enzyme that's good at taking out blood. We've got one that's good for rust. So it's good at removing rust products or rust stains. And as a side note, what we've done with our spotter program is, if you think about laundry spotters, they're the same as carpet spotters. So
Mhm.
we actually market these as fabric spotters, because it can be used for carpeting. It can be used for, sheets and towels in the laundry operation. So our spotter program is more of a generic spotter program. And then we have one spotter that's called Inner Spotter, that is sort of a general spotter that's good for all of those applications, in case somebody isn't sure what the stain is. And that's our spotter program. And then we've got what we call a reclaim program, reclaim part A and part B. And this is when your operation has got stained linen. And let's talk about stained linen for a second. Stained linen in a laundry operation is normal, meaning if you're getting north of 95% of the linen clean on the first pass through the laundry operation, you're doing a good job for them. Because in order to get 100% clean every time, you would literally need to double their cost of chemicals used. You would need to probably extend the time that the machines run. And then you're going to attack that linen pretty hard and actually shorten the shelf life or the life of that towel or that sheet in that laundry operation. So by, setting your program where you're getting, north of 95% of your linen clean the first time, you're doing a couple things for your customers. You're keeping their chemical costs in line. You're extending their linen life, which is lowering their total operating expenses, and you're using less utilities and less labor. So ultimately, some stained linen is good. And that's tough for some people to understand when they hear it the first time. But when you think about it in the context of what's the total cost of a laundry operation, it begins to make sense. Where the Reclaim A and Reclaim B begin to come into play is you'd put that stained linen into a laundry machine. You would add Reclaim A, you would add Reclaim B on a special reclaim cycle. And typically what you're going to get is out of that reclaim cycle, you're going to put back into service 3 out of every 4 pieces of linen that's in that cycle. So it becomes a lot less expensive for that customer to just do some reclaim once a week, put all of that linen back into circulation instead of manually sitting there treating every piece of linen and manually or discarding it and replacing it with new linen. So it's another way to save cost within a laundry operation is by running that reclaim program once a week, once every other week, kind of depending on what their soil needs are. The best thing you can do is train the people that are removing sheets and towels from the rooms within a hospitality facility is to pre-treat at site before they bring it down to the laundry, because that way they've got a better idea of what's on that linen versus the laundry operator that's just guessing when it shows up in a bag or in a buggy. But if you can pre-treat on the floor or in the room as you're removing it, you'll actually have a better outcome as that article makes its way through the laundry process in the facility. And then we also offer powders. Powders are not used as much as they used to be for a lot of reasons, but we have a full powder offering. And these are commercial laundry powders. This is not the, hey, $15 a bucket powder detergent that you can buy at Sam's. These are powders made for commercial laundry operations, not just a cheap, inexpensive home powder. So, again, your regional sales manager can sit down with you, talk to you in depth about what a laundry program would look like, help you go make some sales calls and what it would take to structure a laundry program.
Excellent.
So when you start thinking about both of these programs, you need to think about how you're going to build this program. And this slide is about service profitability. And I've made some general assumptions here, but I want to walk through this because this is important for you to understand. How do you get to profitability when you're running a service program? So you're going to have a person, and I'm going to assume the service tech is a full-time person, somebody with experience to get your program started. And you're going to find that an experienced person is probably going to cost you in the neighborhood of 60,000 a year. Major metropolitan markets a little bit more, smaller markets a little bit less. Taxes and benefits, cell phone, and I threw some extra in here because I know that's typically 20 to 25% when it's all in. But I used 40% on this number because you are going to have to get them a cell phone. You may want to get them uniforms. There could be some other expenses that you've got in your plan, but you can adjust that percentage as you need. But for the sake of this, I wanted to go heavy. And then that person's going to need a vehicle. Couple ways to do that. They could provide their own and you provide them an allowance. But you'll find that over time they're going to need a larger vehicle that can carry product, that can carry equipment, and that's typically going to end up being a lease vehicle. Then you're going to have maintenance, you're going to have gas, you're going to have insurance on that. So I plug that at 2,000 a month or 24,000 a year. And then you're going to have some parts that you're going to need for that individual. Obviously, at startup, you'll buy some parts, and they're going to sit on that truck, and then they'll start to get used over time. So the Intercon website is a great resource for you. As you look across the top, we've got a list of different options where you can go into the website and learn about products and safety data sheets and tech sheets. But another trick on our website is in the upper right-hand corner, just to the left of the search box, there's a space, and you can type in product names. You can type in a general description of what you're looking for. Hit the magnifying glass, and that will pop you to a list of options that we offer, whether it's degreasers or oven cleaners or dish machine detergents. So it's a quick way to hop around within our website, but it's a valuable tool, and I would encourage you to use it whenever possible. So as a quick recap, we started, how do we get started? The commercial line is a group of food service products, your traditional 4 1-gallon products, oven cleaners, degreasers, delimers, pot and pan type products. And then Blue Planet disinfectant is a hypochlorous acid based product. And essentially, in order for us to get started, we need a couple £1,000 per order. That was a way for us to get into business. As we grow together, an option is the Clearly Better Hand Care program, which is a foaming hand care program with hand sanitizers and hand washes. We've got dispenser programs. Dilution control, we've talked about that for housekeeping departments, for building maintenance, for facility maintenance, for manufacturing. But we've got a wide range of products to clean, sanitize, and disinfect hotel rooms, food service operations, bathrooms, commercial buildings, and provide your customers dilution control. And then today we covered the service programs for warewashing and laundry. And if you've got questions, reach out to myself. My contact information is on the last slide. And then I'll get you hooked up with any one of our regional sales managers. We're really figuring out, for us, it's about figuring out a way to grow with you to help you grow your business and make it more profitable, and we grow together.
That's great. It sounds like you guys really are a one-stop shop.
We can cover most anything your customers, your members need. My information's down at the bottom. It's Jeff Rhodes, Rhodes at interconchemical.com, and my cell phone 704-905-6554. I look forward to hearing from you all, and thanks for the opportunity, Courtney.
Absolutely. And we love having you. I know from experience, it doesn't matter what time of day it is, he picks up his phone.
And if I can, I will as soon as I can.
I know it. A few questions came in.
Yeah.
First is, does Intercon offer an equipment program through the equipment manufacturers within the NISCO group?
So what we do is we've got the ability to offer that program. We've got preset discounts. Most of them are in the 25 to 30% range off of their standard pricing. So we get you paired up with that distributor. Second is we're going to quote you a net price to your facility with the NISCO program built in. If you would like us to build an equipment program on top of that, we can. And some members want it, some don't. So that's a flexible option that we offer, and that holds true on any of our equipment that you might want through our programs. Could be hand care dispensers, could be dilution systems, could be laundry dispensing equipment, could be food service equipment dispensing equipment. A lot of our customers will add 10% onto their price, their invoice price, to shelter that equipment, to
Right.
create an equipment fund. And what we do with that equipment fund is we'll issue that back to the member typically on a monthly basis.
Mhm.
And then they put that into their equipment account on their end. And some say, hey, I don't want you to hold my money. I'll just build it in on my end on the price that you sell it to me at. And we're good either way.
Excellent. Does Intercon offer a detergent and oxy bleach all-in-one product?
We do. We've got two different versions of that. We've got both a liquid version and then
Mhm.
we've also got a powder version.
Mhm. Let's see, and the training that Intercon offers to
Mhm.
distributors, is that something that's provided at the corporate level, or is that strictly with the regional sales manager?
We do it both ways. We've got you're going to find the majority of the training you're going to receive is going to be in the field
Mhm.
at your facility or at customer sites from our regional sales managers one-on-one with you.
That's perfect.
As your service techs get more established, meaning they've been doing this for 3 to 6 months and they
Mhm.
think they know everything.
Yeah.
At that point, what we do is we do offer classes in St. Louis
Mhm.
where we will assemble service techs from various distributors that have got a knowledge of the business. And that's why we say we like them to have at least 3 to 6 months worth of knowledge doing the job,
Mhm.
because that way they come and they learn a lot more versus going green, 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 green. And it
Right.
all goes right over their head.
Yeah.
But in those training sessions, we'll offer a warewashing session, and then we'll also
Mhm.
offer a separate laundry session another time. And if
Mhm.
somebody wants us to pair them up and make it a longer session, we can do that. But it's
Mhm.
typically about 3 days in classroom training in St. Louis at the plant where they'll
Mhm.
see Intercon. We've got a training room with dish machines, 3 compartment sinks, dilution systems, laundry machines, dryers. We're going to walk them through how to install equipment, how to program equipment, how to make the chemicals do different things within each of the different wash cycles, so that ultimately you either get clean tableware or clean linen out of that operation.
Right.
They'll also learn about selling. So, during those 3 days, they're going to learn about products, they're going to learn about equipment, and then they're going to learn how to sell those programs. Distributor provides the transportation and the housing or the hotel. So distributor covers those costs. We'll pick up transportation from the hotel. We'll pick them up, bring them over, feed them through the day, probably take them to dinner that evening and take them back to the hotel. So they
That's
don't have much of
great.
a need for expenses on food and beverage, but we take good care of them while they're there for training.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Um, that's all that I've seen roll in. I noticed that we did end up going a little bit over today. No big deal. But was there anything you wanted to close with before we wrap up today?
No, look forward to hearing from the members. If you need some
Yeah,
help or you want to set up a time to talk, you've got my contact information. Look forward to working with you all, and let's go get some business.
absolutely. And if anyone is interested in reaching out to Jeff and you don't happen to have his contact info, you can reach out to me, cwood@nisco.com, and I'll get you guys connected.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Jeff, so much for your time. One, two, and three times. We
Yep.
appreciate it. And thank you, everybody who took time out of their morning today to share your morning with us. You guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next week. Bye, Jeff. Thanks so much again.
Thank you all.
Bye.